welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
It's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but don't fear, we've got football to perk up our spirits as we join you from Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night prime time. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Louisville Cardinal, TeddyBridgewater.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Play action now. Bridgewater. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
Bridgewater. Oh, and that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Bengals take over first and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, a former Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year from the University of Washington. It's Jake Browning.
You want to talk about a driven player, partner. This guy's absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
Another run for Brown on second down. And very little daylight there. They get a couple up to the 44.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. This is Brown on the draw play. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's Bridgewater. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Shamar Stewart just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Norris. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll try and do this himself. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. Jones on the return. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, if they touch it on this possession and try and get things moving.
Get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone. Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They go right back to the ground here in Brown. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Browning. Open man is Chase, complete. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Ryan Rico now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a 1st down. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now a 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Norris trying to run inside, but nothing there. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. We're scoreless after one. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2. 3rd down and 1. As they've got it as we resume action. On 3rd down, Norris. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Here's Browning. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. To throw, Browning. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First catch of the game by Higgins, and he's got his guys a first down. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
From the 35, here's 2nd down and 8. Operating from the gun, Browning. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 15-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and
run. Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Oh, they'll try a jet sweep here with Higgins. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Operating from the gun, Browning. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun, Browning. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Byron Young, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Throwing is Bridgewater. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
Here's Bridgewater. Throwing deep here for Coleman. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. A big play here for Buffalo. 47 yards. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Norris. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
To throw, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. The pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
How about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And the Bills are going to tie the game at 3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning of that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And they've got a little over 40 seconds to work with if they want to try to put something together. Throwing to start the drive. Browning. Man open left side is Brown. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. The tight end in motion right. To throw again on 2nd down. Browning. Over the middle, he's got
Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From just shy of midfield, Browning. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. A final shot before break. Browning. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen here in our thankfully dry studios in Orlando. That's obviously not the case at the stadium, where the rain continues to play a factor in this game. Who will take better advantage of it in the second half? To find out the answer, let's go back out to the stadium and rejoin our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thank you. The rain, if anything, maybe intensified while you were covering the halftime report. We'll see how these two coaching staffs want to approach this second half to come. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't put anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. On 2nd and 9, Browning. A quick throw there is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Take him down. The Bills get to him. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
Motion man is Shakir.
To throw is Bridgewater.
Shakir hauls it in.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They give it off here to the tight end. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Bridgewater.
A short throw pulled in by Kincaid.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and the Bills have taken the lead. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
From the gun on third down, Browning. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big fourth down call.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Norris.
And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and cut back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
Bridgewater to throw it. Going for the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Yeah, this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Prime Time.
We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. 3rd and goal for Bridgewater. Oh, no, he lost the football. Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over at the sideline, there's the head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it, field goal time.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Here's the Bills' kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Browning. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching.
Long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Browning. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Just a gain of a couple there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. And the result of all that is possession of the football at the 6.
Well, there's nothing like taking a lead and making a play that could increase the advantage. That block punt and where they picked up the football, that gives them a chance to really take a commanding lead here.
Yeah, so you've already got the 3, but you know they're thinking touchdown, right?
Have to. Know the 3 is there. Don't do anything to jeopardize it, but take your shots to try and increase your lead and make it substantial.
Throwing, Bridgewater. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be second and goal. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your...
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Bills take the block punt and convert it into 6 points. Well, we lasted all the way to the fourth quarter without a touchdown being on the board, but here a key one to extend the lead.
Definitely, and I really doubt, though, that that's going to open the floodgates. What do you think, partner?
No, not the way that we've seen these defenses play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've been rock solid, but we had to know that sooner or later, someone had to surrender a touchdown, and it happened right there.
They'll try and run it here. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and a try for 2 is denied. As they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Now he'll tuck this and run. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 5.
This is Brown going up the middle.
And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And that is incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and run for it with Brown. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Buffalo offense back out ready to go. And they sit in a good spot, having the ball back after the fumble recovery and up 2 scores in the fourth quarter.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. They'll run on first down. Norris. Yeah, I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. First play of the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
The Bills on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 14.
Palmer going to go in motion left.
Bridgewater now.
Now he's going to step up and run.
5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
So now the Bengals down by 15. 2:06 to play. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. Throwing to start the drive. Browning.
That's caught. Andre Yoshivas.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
They come up now on 2nd and 2.
Looking to throw. Browning.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
One timeout at their disposal, but more pressing is the need for 2 scores, obviously. Here's 1st and 10.
And the Bills Bengals are going to get him as he goes down.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time, multiple guys get to it.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Gregory Rousseau
Bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And the pressure gets to him again.
Gregory Rousseau
drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the 2nd half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a 2nd half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Cincinnati, good night, everybody.